So, hi everyone, welcome to the Meet 11 of Learning Data Science. Today is day 11, and yesterday we discussed about the introduction of tuples. And yes, today we're gonna discuss about the functions pertaining to tuples in a detailed way, right? So, just let's start with the mind map, and I hope you guys know basically what is a mind map. If you don't know, then mind map is a pictorial representation of our data. Basically, if we want to access our data, for example, there are 10,000 rows in an Excel sheet, or there are 50 thousands of lines in a Word file. So simply, no one will just look at the file and they can be able to figure it out what type of data it is and what data basically this file contains. So mind map is the pictorial representation of that. It doesn't only provide us the data in a crisp manner, but also helps us to understand the data in a more efficient way, right? So what you have to do, you have to just search it on Google and type with Python mind map, okay? And when you will just hit the enter button, you will see Python mind map is here, and how to operate it is just simple. You have to just double click on any of the functions on any of the topic which you want to see, right? So we were discussing about data types in Python, and we already discussed about the numeric types, data types. We discussed about strings. We discussed about list. We discussed about tuples. In the tree part, you can see. So basically, what all things we discussed. So I just want you guys to just type it on the comment section that what are the features related to tuple. Okay. So what are the features related to tuple that is that anything which is written under parenthesis, which is a common bracket, is called a tuple. Tuples are immutable in nature. Once tuple is created, we can't modify it. The another thing, the another point is that tuple is an ordered sequence. For that reason, it comes under sequential data types. Again, what is a sequential data types is that when we create a tuple, the elements inside that tuple follows a certain sequence. There is a certain order, right? And this order can't be changed. For example, to for you guys, just take example of your school life, right? When you want to study at class 10, you want to give the boards. So for that reason, you keep studying from class 1, right? Till 1, till 10. You can't just jump the classes. It doesn't matter whether I have studied or you have studied or anyone, right? There is a certain sequence related to it. So basically, that is the sequence. It doesn't change. And what are the second, fourth point we discussed about tuples was that it can contain several data types. Tuple holds different data types. It doesn't only mean that tuples hold only integers, but yes, tuple holds different data types. And it also includes the duplicate values, right? So these all things we discussed yesterday in tuples. And when you will double click it, you can see there are certain examples. And I hope you guys are reading the mind map at least 3 to 4 times a day. Okay. So you can see it that we can perform yesterday. We discussed about the indexing in tuple, how we can access the elements inside a tuple. It's same like string and list, right? We also discussed about the slicing in tuple, how we can slice a tuple, basically the slicing and all these things we discussed on strings. What is the basic syntax for slicing? The very first value, which is a start. Then after it comes the stop value. Then it comes the step. So these all things we discussed yesterday. And now just let's start with the spider. And again, why I tell you guys to just stick to spider IDs because spider is a beginner friendly and spider allows various features There are VS Code, there is a VS Code, there is PyCharm, there is Jupyter Notebook. Everything is there. Every ID is there, and every ID is best. But Spider is best for the beginners because it has various key features. It's like as a beginner, you want to learn various things, right? So for that reason, you need something which can explain in a detailed way, right? What detailed way? For example, if you want to see what is this print statement does, so you have to just select this and put a control I here. Whenever you will put a control I, you can see in your help section, it gives basically what is the meaning of print and what is the basically syntax for print. And again, how do you open a file in Spire is just as simple as Google Docs, as simple as Microsoft Word. Like you can just click on the new file and the new file is generated here, right? So it is as simple as that. And now let's move on to the tuples. So basically, these all things are these are the data types, uh, not data types. These are the features which we discussed, right? And we also discussed about how when we are creating a tuple yesterday, right? We discussed about that. We discussed about how we can access those, right? So today we will discuss about the various functionality related to it. It's like what is the next thing means like we can do with tuples is like now just move on here and just let me try creating a tuple, right? So what I will do, I will just write here T and within a T I will start with parenthesis because this is a common bracket and here I will write one data type I will write boolean, one data type I will write string, one data type I will write complex number, one data type which I will write here is float, one data type I will write here list. Okay, so let me run this code. You can see that the tuple is already been created here. And now what's the another thing? Just let's create another tuple as T1. Okay, here just put the value as 3, then 5, then some string values, then some boolean value, then some float. Then similarly, these all values are there, right? If we want to combine these tuple, right? So how we can do it? It's just same like string because in tuple we can't modify anything. Let me show you this thing how we can't modify it, right? So how it goes is you can see that the very first element of tuple, the very first element of tuple is denoted by index number 0 because as you guys know, as I've already discussed these things in list and string, is that whenever we are moving from left to right, whenever we are moving in an increasing order, then always it will be a positive indexing, and positive indexing in any programming language would start with 0, right? But when we are moving in a decreasing order, when we are moving from right to left, then always the last value will hold the index position as -1. Okay, so this particular list will hold a position of -1. This float value will be -2. This complex number will be -3, and so on. Similarly, when we are starting from left to right, increasing order, so this particular value will be 0. This will be 1. This str will be 2. Okay. So now let's print the value. It's the simple thing. You have to just write the variable name in which the particular data type is stored, whether it's string, list, or tuple, and in the square bracket, you have to write it 0. And when I will execute this line of code, you can see the output is 1. Okay. Now just try changing the value. For example, it will write here 3. Okay. And you can see here. It will give a type error because tuple object cannot support item assignment. Means like we can't change the value in tuple. Okay. And I think you guys have understood about the list. Means like in list we can easily change the values. Okay. So for example, let's create a random list. So this is the list, and when I will execute this line of code, and when I will try to assign a different value here, then you can see it that it's been successfully applied, and I will print here L. So you can see the elements have been changed here. Previously the value was 134 and now it's 3. So in list we can modify it because it is a mutable data type, and in tuple we can't do that because it is a immutable data type. But yes, we can combine the two tuples just like string. In string we use the concatenation method. In tuple also we will use the concatenation method to combine both the tuples. So how it goes is just use the simple arithmetic operator which is plus sign, and if I will do here print t plus t1, okay, oh my bad, t1 is not defined here. Okay. And if I will execute this line of code, then you can see that these all things we had successfully combined it. Okay. Now let's store this in another tuple, for example, called t3. And if I will store this value, and if I will execute this line of code, then if I will run here t3, then you can see that yes, in t3 the values is being successfully installed here, right? And so this was the concatenation part. We can't modify the elements inside a tuple. Okay. For example, in an education system, right? You know, in the education system, for you guys to pass your 10th board, you should study from class 1 to 10. Okay? You just can't skip the classes, right? You were studying in class 2, then suddenly you will be studying in class 6. No, this doesn't happen. But yes, you can add your academics. Means like, for example, if you want to pursue a doctorate degree, you want to pursue something like uh, your master's degree or some BTech or graduation. So what does it adds the educational degree to it, right? We are not removing the elements from the first, but we are adding it. For example, this was the tuple till 1 to 10. Then we are adding the tuple from 10 till your graduation, right? We are combining those, and then total of T3, it becomes the whole of your education, right? So basically it goes like this. And what are the next thing we will discuss here is, right, you can see here also the example is there how we can, how we have uh, perform these operations here. Okay. And similarly, if we want to count something, right? For example, if we want to count the certain elements inside it. So for example, let's consider T3 here. And in T3 now just let some take duplicate values. So I will just copy this thing, put it here. I'll copy this as well. will click here. We this one, and I will click here. Okay. Now just let's execute this both line of code. Then we will apply this. Okay. And now if I want to count, okay, count the elements. So the basic syntax behind is that, as I've told you guys, the basic thing is you have to write the certain variable name in which the data type is assigned. So here in T3, the tuple is just assigned. So I will write here T3. Then what I will write? I will write the function name. So the function name to count it, okay? Because the function name, if I will write, for example, index, right? So index I have written here and I will simply write the one. So one means this the index value of two. So just let's check true how many times it's being repeated. Okay, if I execute this line of code, you can see these are the various things, and if I execute it, you can see the count will be one because true is present only one time here. Okay, basically it's not being repeated. So for that reason, it's giving zero. Why? Because it is present only one time. That is on the very first position. For example, if I will count the value of 0 here, 0 means the 0th position in index. And then if I will print it, then you can see the count is 12. And if I will try executing it, like for example, T3 index 0, 1, 2, 3, just take 3. Okay? And if I will execute it, you can see this. And now if I want to count the certain values, means like here what I've written the index number. Okay, I just wanna count it by writing the elements inside it, right? If I want to count one here, right? If I wanna count one, then you can see the current here is three. Why? Because one here it's present, one, two. Now let's take that. If I will count it, you can see the value of three is one here. Because only one time three is present. If I write here two, I will execute this line of code. Okay? And if I execute the this, so you can see I have successfully executed this and T3 index when I have given here. Okay, basically T3 is not being defined here. And if I will execute this, you can get a value of 6 here. Okay. So why you are getting the value of 6? Because it's counting the it's count the occurrence of the it counts the first occurrence, okay? First occurrence of value 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay? This. So it will count the first occurrence of 3. Okay. So what is the first occurrence of 3 here? We can see it's in 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In the sixth position, you can get it. Now just let me execute this line of code. You can see this is the 0th position. Or let's simply execute the T of 3 line. T of 3. What is the value in 6? T3. Here I will execute. What's the value of 6 here, right? You can see the 3 is there. Okay? So what it does, it counts the first occurrence. It gives the us the first occurrence of the any value which is returning, right? And what is this count gives? Count will give count the occurrence of true. Okay, how many times this true have been occurred? Okay, you can see the value is 3 here. Okay, when you will go here 0, 1 here, then you see only right here 1. Let's try this. Why it's showing the count of 0? If the str has already been present, it's because Python is a case sensitive. And if I will again print this statement, you can see the count of str, which is only one time. Okay, so for that reason, it's showing 1. And if I will write here 3.5, or I will just write the complex number, which is here. Now execute this. You can see the count is 2 because only 2 times the complex number is being present here, right? So count, what does it give? It gives the count of, it gives the total count, okay? It gives the total count of the elements. And what does index function does? Index function counts the first occurrence of that particular value, and it will give the index number pertaining to that value, right? So these all things are there, means like how we can count it, how we can execute this. Now, as I've yesterday told you, what are the different functions related to tuple is you have to just simply type tuple here. Mhm. And when I execute this line of code, you can see the count is there, index is there. These these all functions are also there. Add is there, format is there, hash, ITR. What is ITR function? Again, this is a generator. We will discuss this in generator. And what is this reduce? We will discuss this again in regular expression, which will come later. It's like now, if I will discuss all things, you might get confused, right? So now how we can find the length of this particular tuple. So for that, there is a simple, you have to just write here length, and within a length function, you have to type here at t3. Okay. You can execute this line of code, then you can see, and if I will print it, print L. Okay. So you can see the count here is 15. Okay. How it is 15? Let's check it. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Again, there is a question you guys will ask why I'm counting from 1, why I'm not counting from 0. So, what I say, whenever we are operating the tuple, that time while indexing, the value starts from 0. But in real life, the numbers it starts from 1. So, for that reason, uh, the len function it uses the value as a 15 because in real time scenario we count the number from one from natural number we doesn't count from a whole number it's from zero, right? We only do these things while we are indexing the value, while we are locating the value inside the elements, right? So for example, let me show some real example relating to it. So for example, if I written for I in range, and here just if I will write L here, and if I will just print I, okay, now this is the interesting part. I will print I, and also I will print the T3 of I. So you will certainly get these things. What basically I'm trying to explain to you guys. See, on the very first part, I was printing I. So I is starting from 0 and the value is 1 here. What's value 1? You can see. Again, when I value was 1, the index number 1, it is 2. Okay. So you can understand it. Whenever we are using any range function, L, it will go still n minus 1 time. Same like indexing part. In indexing, you can see here while we are slicing something, there is a certain syntax, right? In the square bracket, what we write in the square bracket, we write start, then we write end, then we write step. So whenever we are writing end here, every time the loop will go end minus 1 time. Okay. So this is the reason behind this range function as well. This why this range function holds the value which is in natural numbers. Why it's not from 0? Because it will go till n minus 1 time. So similarly, when previously the length was 15 here, you can see the length was 15. So the loop will go 14 times. And ultimately, when you will count this 2, 4, 5, 6 holds the index value of 14. And you go down, you can see 14 I, and the value here is 2, 4, 5, 6. So basically, these all were the things, functions relating to tuple. And yes, tomorrow what we will do, we will start with the set part. And till then, I hope you guys are practicing the program because again, what I say is that learning any programming language or learning any coding is just like you are learning something same as swimming and driving. And swimming and driving you can't learn from YouTube just by watching those videos. Okay, so it same applies with any coding or programming language. You have to jump in, you have to code it. You have to jump inside a car and you have to learn the drive. You have to jump in the pool and you have to learn how to swim. Similarly, when you are coding something, you have to jump into some ID, you have to just code and just make sure to code at least 500 to 1000 times, 500 to 1000 lines of code. Here you can see the line here is only 17. You have to go till 1000 here, okay? So you have to type at least to minimum 100, but I would suggest you guys to code 500 to 1000 because that will help you guys to learn this everything in a within a month. And I hope you guys are here to learn something faster. You're not getting delayed in your life. You don't want to do that. You don't want to get delayed in your upgrading your skills. You don't want to delay yourself in your life. So for that reason, I tell you guys, if you are coding 100 lines of code, you will learn Python within 6 months. But when you are increasing your threshold into 5 times and into 10 times, then you can certainly say that 6 months divided by five, it's obviously 1 month. right? So for that reason, you have to code every day 5 to 1,000 times. Okay. So these all things fit there, and I hope you guys are making running notes as well because I don't want you guys to just watch this video laying on your sofa, right? I want you guys to make running notes because you might forget what I've taught here, right? So for that reason, the human brain is so forgetful. You might not even remember what you have eaten a couple of days ago, what kind of how many chapatis you have eaten, how many vegetables, what type of vegetables you eaten. Okay, and if you are a non-vegetarian, then how much non-veg you have eaten a couple of days ago or a week ago, right? So similarly, it goes with this as well. You might forget the things and it's not might, you will forget the things. So for that reason, you have to just stick to the running notes. So just keep practicing it and keep doing these things. And see you guys tomorrow at the same time, 8 p.m. Till then, just keep practicing the code, keep writing the code, and yes, bye bye, good night, Jai Hind.